Roblox Jailbreak was created on April 21st, 2017, and it was an instant success. And today, guys, I'm going to be doing, guys, a timeline of Jailbreak. What that means is that I'm going to be making an entire timeline on every Roblox Jailbreak update that has been throughout years. Throughout the whole 5 years, I thought it was about time I'll make an update video about all the Jailbreak updates that came out. And keep in mind, this will not involve pets. This is only going to be involving just generally. It's only going to be involving vehicles, skins, and etc. etc. Alright? But the main reason I'm making this video because I thought it was about time. I've been playing Roblox Jailbreak for years. I thought it was about time for me to make an entire timeline video on most of the updates. It'd be pretty nice. And so yeah, guys. Let's get started. So guys, at the beginning of Roblox Jailbreak, there was the Jailbreak Camaro, of course, and there was the SUV. But unfortunately, Jailbreak, they decided to add a brand new robbery that would change it a ton. It would change the money on how we think, and etc. 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 Back then, there was only the bank. So it means in this robbery, they put in a brand new jewelry store, and an escape vehicle back then was known as the Bugatti, but now is renamed as the Brulee. But back then, they wanted to try to balance the criminal team and the police team, obviously, back then, as much as I know of. And keep in mind, guys, that this video will be pretty short. It won't be that long. It'll be maybe like 10 minutes long. But yeah, as much as I know, that's all I know. But then, guys, they decided to add in the McLaren. And yeah, the McLaren. After the McLaren partially came out in the winter update. But the winter update also came with another special treat that you might be wondering what it is. In this update, there were 2 new cars to try to balance out the criminal team and the cop team. Because back then, there was only the SUV and the Camaro. And of course, it was no match for the Brulee. As I said before, it was no match for the Roblox Jailbreak Brulee. Considering how fast it was and considering everything, I'm not surprised why they put in these 2 new cars. But guys, these 2 new cars were the Torpedo and the Arachnid. Back then, they wanted to try to level the criminal and the cop team considering the circumstances. They wanted to try to like balance out the game with these two vehicles. The Torpedo was mainly meant for the criminal team to try to help the criminals, because considering the fact that back then the Brulee was very fast. The Brulee was faster than Torpedo at the time, but they thought it'd be good to try to balance it out. Considering the circumstances, they decided to try to add the Torpedo to try to balance the criminal and the cop team, obviously. The Arachnid. The Arachnid was supposed to be a vehicle for the cops, because back then, as I said before, cops back then, unfortunately, they didn't have much. They only had a very bad SUV and they had a Camaro. So instead, what they ended up doing is that they put in the Arachnid as a vehicle, so then the cops can pit maneuver. And also, fun fact, the Arachnid was originally meant to pit maneuver criminals, other people, that kind of thing. That's what the Arachnid was mainly meant for. It was meant for it to try to stop the criminals against the Torpedo. As I said before, at the time was not the fastest car, but yeah, it was meant to stop the Torpedo, which is, much as I know of, it was meant to basically stop the Torpedo. Moving on, Jailbreak Season 2. Jailbreak Season 2. After Season 1, guys, which had the originals called the Torpedo and the Arachnid. Oops, sorry about that, wrong photo. And by the way, my editor fixed that. But yeah, it was supposed to be the Arachnid, obviously, with 2 vehicles, obviously. After they both came out, which was originally Season 1, as I said before, Season 1, back to Simo, they kind of ended the season with Torpedo and the Arachnid. But instead, after season 2, they decided to bring back. Oops, editor, fix that again. Editor, oh my gosh. And yeah, oops, editor, oh my gosh, you guys, my editor. But yeah, guys, what they did, guys, is that, guys, they put season 2 out. Basically, season 2 out basically put back the torpedo and the arachnid, and basically coming with season 2 was some pretty cool textures. The first texture was a money texture. It was a wavy texture. The napkin Nate texture, aka called the glowing yellow texture. It had the bacon texture. My username is this. The earth texture, the hot dog texture, creekcraft texture, the lightning texture, the blue pixel, and the orange pixel. Pretty much. And after that update went out, season 2 wasn't ending. Simo and Batsy C, since the torpedo and the erection were going away, I assume the reason why they removed them is just partially because they've been using those cards for over a year. Of course, they want to at least add some new cards to, balance like the gameplay, right? But guys, this update came out with the JBA and the Jailbreak Raptor. These two cars were about. They have the same exact purpose as the torpedo and the arachnid. The JBA was meant to try to balance the criminal team, and the Raptor was meant to try to balance the cop team. But these vehicles, considering that, guys, these vehicles were not as good as torpedo and the arachnid. Just partially because these cars were a lot slower. They weren't exactly the best of the best. The RA wasn't really meant for speed at all. And the Raptor, guys, these two cars, guys, were like the worst season 3 update in my opinion. These cars were incredibly slow. They didn't really bring much gameplay to the game, in my opinion. So yeah, guys, so that's just my opinion on what I think. This is my opinion personally, but yeah. So guys, yeah, guys. After season 3 came out, Jailbreak decided to bring out something brand new, and this was the season 4 update. And by the way, just saying, credit to my username is this for the background footage and the thumbnail that's on right now on the screen, as I told my editor to put. And yeah, so basically, guys, all of this update basically contained was spoilers. It was only spoilers, and I mean spoilers, I actually mean spoilers. There was nothing new to unlock. There was nothing really new to see. All of it was just pretty much, just spoilers. Don't get me wrong, spoilers are really cool, but they didn't really do much for the game, considering this and that. But yeah, guys, that's all I added. So it means now, guys, it's time to move on to season 1, where it all returned with the infamous vehicle, the Beam Hybrid. So now, guys, let's head over towards all the new seasonal cars. Number 1, it was the Beam Hybrid. The Beam Hybrid was a car that was supposed to be restarting the old seasons, because back then, when season 2, season 1, season 3, unfortunately, and season 4 came out, unfortunately, Batsy, they didn't really need to try to continue anything, to be honest. So yeah, I'm not really that surprised that they did end up putting this. But guys, what ended up happening is that guys, they wanted to reboot the seasons. They thought it'd be a good idea, and yeah, basically, the beam wasn't meant for speed. The beam was just meant to like show, and etc. Season 2, and keep in mind that this was a reboot of the entire old seasons. It was the crew capsule. The crew capsule was the first ever car in Jailbreak to actually fly, besides a flying vehicle like the army heli and stuff like that. That car was the first car ever that was seasonal, and also it was also the first car that can also fly above as a car, which is actually pretty awesome in my opinion. Season 3, the Volt 4x4. Then this car was actually inspired by Tron, because if you guys do not know, guys, Tron was a movie, and And yeah, this is one of the cars that was in Tron. And fun fact, before Jailbreak Batsy C and Asimo, they actually made a game called Tron, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, guys, this vehicle was partially inspired off of Tron. Season 4, and this came along with the Rattler. The Rattler was a okay seasonal car. It wasn't that bad. This car was mainly for like a punk, this and that. I don't really know too much about this car. All I know that this car was in season 4, and 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 yeah, basically this car was pretty nice. You have to get towards level 10 for it. All all the new seasons you have to grind towards level 10, and then you'll get the car for free. But yeah, guys, that right there is season 4, the Rattler. Season 5 was actually it was a banana car. This car right here was supposed to be a meme car for towards people, so then people can enjoy, etc, 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 etc. This car was basically meant just to like joke around and stuff, but yeah, but yeah, basically. But guys, another use thing is that guys, they actually, I might be wrong about this, but guys, around this time they also brought out a season pass, which means you're allowed to open up more contracts back in season 1. I totally forgot to mention that. That's my bad. But now guys, let's head over towards the better seasonal cars, and yeah, guys, so let's get started. Another good car, season 6, it was the Big Net. The Big Net was meant for speed and coolness. This car had the looks. It came around fall. It was pretty nice. This car was meant for speed and the looks. This car was definitely worth getting back then. I don't know like the top speed of this, but yeah, guys. But guys, look, the season also came along at the end of the season. You would also get a free a free 3 textures, which is actually pretty awesome. So yeah, guys, so that's season 6. Season 7 was the Icebreaker. The Icebreaker was partially not physically meant for speed. It was just it was really meant for a car that you can just drive around and have fun with. But yeah, but look, this car is actually kind of fast. From what I heard of, this car is pretty fast. I've owned it before, but yeah, guys, in my opinion, this is a definitely good car. In my opinion, this is a really good car. It's worth it to get, and yeah, guys, that's my opinion. Yeah, that's my opinion. But now, guys, let's head over towards season 8. Season 8, guys, came along with the Celsior. The Celsior, guys, was actually the second seasonal car. That's a car that can actually float. This was a pretty nice car. Generally, this was a really cool car too. I've always enjoyed this car. I used to own a Celsior, not anymore, but yeah, this car was pretty fun to drive around. And also, this car was made by Sharky Cow, which is the person who actually made the season of the car, which we're gonna in a bit. But now, guys, time for season 9. Season 9, guys, contains the Jackrabbit, guys. The Jackrabbit it wasn't the best car, but this car did come out at level 8. It was the first car that can honestly do that. And also, fun fact about the Jackrabbit, this car was actually made by the person who made the Javelin, the torpedo's predecessor. But yeah, guys, we'll get into that much later. But yeah, guys, you guys could get this thing at level 8, pretty awesome. And yeah, guys, time, guys, for season 10. Season 10, it contained the Macaron. This Macaron was basically a car meant for the looks. This car was basically a sports car. It wasn't meant for speed or like those kind of things. This car was just meant to like drive around and have a little bit of fun with it. But yeah, guys, this car was very cool. And you guys, at the 2% chance, you guys would get the Superstar skin, which is pretty epic. And basically, yeah, guys, that's what you guys would get. Now, guys, time for season 11. Season 11, guys, was the first car ever that was blocky shaped. This car was the first car ever in Jailbreak history that you know, that was a Lego kind of car. This car was pretty cool. Generally, the speed of this was pretty epic. The block seat was pretty nice. It has really good handling and decent speed. So means yeah, guys, that is season 11. All right, guys, that is season 11, and yeah, so yeah, guys, let's actually continue with this. Number 12, season 12. It was a Goliath. The Goliath wasn't the best car, I'll admit. This car was not meant for speed. This car was mainly meant to keep. And basically, what I mean keep is that basically it was meant to carry a huge amount of players while they were doing a bunch of other stuff. So means yeah, guys, that is season 12. And so yeah, guys, yeah, guys, let's move on to season 13. Season 13 was the Bandit. Then the Bandit was basically a cool car where basically people can drive around. In my opinion, this car was definitely worth it, and basically, yeah, guys, that. But basically, guys, the Bandit was basically meant for speed. I don't know too much about the Bandit, but yeah, guys. But guys, on a side note, guys, before the Bandit came out, the 5 days of vehicles came out, and and it was the limited car. And basically, the limited car was the Javelin. The Javelin was basically the predecessor of the Jailbreak Torpedo back in season 2. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this, guys. I know this video was like quite long, but yeah, guys, I thought I'd make a video on this because, guys, I haven't played Jailbreak for over 2 years. I never had a problem with it. The game was really cool, and yeah, guys, I'll see you guys later. Bye.